There we go. Okay, so we're talking to Connie Mitchell from IHS, which houses houseless guests.
Yes.
Please tell me your reaction to yesterday's ruling.
I think we're pleased, that we have the chance to continue to work with the people that we do, but also to let people know that many of the people who are out on the streets have services available to them, but they're not necessarily availing themselves of those services and shelter.
Yeah, so the lawsuit does turn it back on the city and say that it's the city's fault for having a lack of shelter space. But as the executive director of Oahu's largest homeless shelter, is that not correct?
I think that the assumption that you have to have as much shelter space as there are homeless people at one given time is incorrect. Because I think that there are many people, as I mentioned before, that don't want shelter. Some people don't, it's not appropriate for them because, they're too anxious in a shelter. If we work with them and we can get them into permanent housing, we much rather do that sometimes. But, we also know that people can also go into treatment. That's another option. They don't have to go into a shelter in order to access that treatment. And in fact, we opened our triage center that is made specifically for that. If people want substance abuse treatment or want to access psychiatric treatment, we're able to do that now, pretty readily. And, so we basically feel like if they come into the shelter, the whole array of services is offered to them. And even on the street, we're offering a whole array of services. But if they don't want the services, then that's their option. But that's not cruel and unusual punishment if they choose not to avail themselves of services.
Yeah, so can I ask you, as an expert in this sector, can you expand on that thought a little bit? I wanted you to react to the part where the lawsuit alleges that it is cruel and unjust and criminalizes people for not having an address.
I don't think it criminalizes people. It's people's own behaviors that, actually, end up being crimes or not. I think most of the time when people are on the sidewalks, they don't usually get arrested. They're usually, given a notice, to move. If they refuse to move, they even get cited before any arrest takes place. So I think that sometimes people have the mistaken notion that, oops, the police are here and there's going to be enforcement and they're all going to be arrested. That rarely happens.
Okay. Do you feel like this tips the court's hat or gives a nod into how, when the case is actually heard, how that ruling might go as well?
Well, I'm hoping it stands on, some of those points that the judge had made. Judge Tonaki was saying, as I mentioned before, it's not cruel and unusual punishment. And we want to give people the options, we certainly do, we're there to help. But we also, know that if we are, or not we, but, if the enforcement is not allowed to happen, if I look across the street from our men's shelter right now, the whole street on Sumner Street, is covered on the sidewalks with structures. And that is what we can look forward to if they end up saying, oh yeah, people can camp wherever they want to. And that's essentially what it is. To me, it's just deciding that you can camp in public.
Okay. For anyone watching this, is there any kind of message that you would like to transmit directly to the public in terms of if they need to come to a shelter, what should they do? Or if they see somebody who they think needs help, what should they do?
Absolutely. We're here for people. We are a safety net for our community. So if you know of somebody that does have sort of a vulnerability or they are already homeless and they want help, please call us. You can call 447-2800 or go to our website and or email me at IHS Hawaii.org, info at IHSHawaii.org anytime. And for any reason, they can send a message there and we can respond.
And that area code is 808.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Connie
you.
Mitchell, Executive Director of Institute for Human Services. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thanks, Diane.